So, for the past 2 years, Jamaica has been recognized as the fastest developing country within the Caribbean, seeing billions in US dollars in private development taking place in Jamaica. And since Hurricane Melissa, and the government of Jamaica was able to secure almost 7 billion US dollar to change the infrastructure of Jamaica. Now, by far, Jamaica is the fastest developing country within the Caribbean. So, my question is, could Jamaica be the next Dubai? Let's talk about it.
So Jamaica's Prime Minister has made a super bold claim, right? He says Jamaica could become the next Dubai or Singapore. And I quite like the ambition. I know there's a lot of conversation about whether or not that should be taken seriously. So I thought, you know what? It's worth looking past the headline and looking at the actual details. Not can Jamaica copy Dubai or Singapore, but what Jamaica could actually need if it wanted to become the most serious, safest, and most investable and most productive version of Jamaica, right? Because that conversation is much bigger than what's been happening over the past decades, focusing on tourism. For decades, Jamaica has been sold to the world as somewhere you visit, relax, spend money, and just leave. But what happens when the country stops seeing itself as merely a tourist destination and starts building itself as a place where people can live, work, invest, and raise families and retire? That's where the real possibility is. I mean, we've got to be honest, Dubai and Singapore were intentional. They didn't become global economic hubs by accident. They invested in infrastructure. They made it easier to do business. They took ports, aviation, logistics, finance, safety, housing, and productivity seriously. And if Jamaica wants to move in that direction, then there's a few things that need to change. Crime has to come down, roads and transport have to improve, energy has to become more reliable, public services have to become more efficient, and most importantly, local people have to be able to see a real future in their economy, because investment follows trust, clear rules, working systems, and a government that people believe can actually deliver. But Jamaica's opportunity, honestly, is so much bigger than just the beaches and hotels. It's Kingston becoming a serious logistics and trade hub. It is airports and ports that connect the Caribbean, North America, Latin America, Africa, and the diaspora. It's music, sport, film, culture becoming serious export industries. It's diaspora money moving from just being remittances into investment. It's Jamaica's owning more of businesses, land, contracts, value chains that come from their growth. Because becoming the next Dubai means nothing if Jamaicans are priced out, right? We need to be clear on that. Becoming the next Singapore means nothing if wages stay low, housing becomes impossible, and ordinary people are still watching outsiders own the best parts of their country. So yes, I think Jamaica should actually absolutely think bigger than just tourism. It should think about logistics, ports, food security, renewable energy, film, music, technology, financial services, medical tourism, retirement living, and diaspora investment. But the real question is not whether Jamaica can become Dubai or Singapore. It's whether Jamaica can become the most disciplined, safe, investable, and productive version of Jamaica, where Jamaicans don't just serve the economy, they own it.
So, for anyone that's been watching this channel for almost 2 years now, know the passion that I have for the Caribbean, for our politics, our culture, or everything that the Caribbean has to offer. And in my 50 years of life in Jamaica, being a Jamaican, and I've seen numerous prime ministers over the years come and they talk about moving Jamaica forward. But the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Honorable Dr. Andrew Holness, is the first Prime Minister that I've seen with a vision for Jamaica that I can actually visualize it. So there are numerous times in different interviews that the Prime Minister have done over the years, and the Prime Minister always give us a visual part of what Jamaica could look like. And in numerous interviews, he compare the trajectory that he hope to take Jamaica on to that of a Singapore and a Dubai. And what I'm going to be doing with the help of ChatGPT, I went out and I look at developments that are taking place in Jamaica right now. And I am going to be tracking all of these developments for the next 4 years. Because what I've realized, because the Jamaican media has become so compromised, you don't know what is going on in Jamaica. So right now, Jamaica, there's currently over $1 trillion Jamaican dollars being spent in the Jamaica economy right now. And most Jamaicans have no idea about it. So in this new series that I'm about to embark upon, I am going to be tracking the development of Jamaica for the next 4 years. And I'm going to be looking at 5 pillars of development in Jamaica and see if the Jamaican government is intentional and if they're really going the right way and if Jamaica could really be the next Dubai or Singapore. So the first thing I'm going to take a look at is connectivity. Is the government intentional in terms of connecting Jamaica, in terms of the highways? We saw PJ Patterson. This is going to be one of PJ Patterson's greatest legacy. We know that PJ Patterson made a lot of mistakes as Prime Minister of Jamaica, but one of the things, the vision that PJ Patterson have to connect Jamaica with the highways, and now we're seeing the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Honorable Dr. Andrew Holness, carrying forward that plan in terms of connecting Jamaica. So gone are the days when you were going to like Ocho Rios and it would take you like 2 hours from Kingston to go to Ocho Rios. We're seeing Jamaica now, a connectivity with the highways. So connectivity is going to be the first pillar that I'm going to be taking a look at. The second pillar is energy. And the Jamaican government, they are clear in their intention with the Jamaica Public Service to either take back some of the ownership of the Jamaica Public Service, but the energy minister has been clear that energy is too expensive in Jamaica and that is not good for the development of Jamaica. Energy, when you find expensive energy, investors shy away from those countries. So that is number 2 that I'm going to be taking a look at, energy. The third pillar, security, the crime rate. We have seen the crime rate been going down for the past 3 years, and we're going to continue to track the crime rate in Jamaica to see if the government is really serious, because investors, when you go to places like a Dubai, a Singapore, Rwanda, all of the countries that we're seeing develop at rapid speed, security is a key issue. Security, you have to be secure as a country with a low crime rate in order to attract international foreign investors. So that is number 3 that I'm going to be taking a look at. Number 4, skilled workers. Do Jamaica have enough skilled workers? We saw the government did a rapid program recently with Hard Trust NTA, where they trained skilled people to do roofing, roofers in Jamaica, because after Hurricane Melissa, and we did not have enough people to help with roofing, and we saw the government did a rapid program where people were able to be certified as roofers in Jamaica. And the 5th and final is investment friendly. And investment friendly would pretty much incorporate everything that I just talked about. Do Jamaica, in terms of the crime situation in Jamaica, the energy situation in Jamaica, is Jamaica investment friendly? Are people in international looking at Jamaica as somewhere that they would want to invest? So those are the 5 pillars that I'm going to be tracking with this development that is going on in Jamaica. And as I said, number 1, connectivity. And the Jamaican government announced a 45 billion Jamaican dollars road infrastructure repair for the next few years.
I'm standing on Canewood Road in Western Portland. This is a spark road, and this is an example of the quality of roads that we're bringing to our communities under Spark. 110 roads have been paved so far. We have about another 230 left to pave. But guess what? Yesterday the Prime Minister announced 37 main roads at a cost of $24 billion, stretching across 11 parishes. Spark is active, Spark is sparking, and we're going all around the island to open your Spark roads.
Yes, so one of the reasons why I really wanted to do this also is because I'm tired of going online and seeing Jamaicans saying nothing now go on in a Jamaica. When Jamaica is the fastest developing country within the Caribbean, how can you say nothing is going on in Jamaica? And one of the first projects I want to take a look at is the Harmony Cove. And Harmony Cove is one of the only billion-dollar projects that is going on in the entire region right now. Just imagine $1 billion on one project. And this is a project that I've heard that the project development that is going on with the Harmony Cove, that they cannot even find workers to fill this project, that they have to bring in people from overseas for construction work on this project. So Harmony Cove, one of the biggest project going on in the Caribbean right now, and this project is over $1 billion. $1 billion US dollars.
Harmony Cove is set to become one of the most ambitious luxury resort developments in the Caribbean. Located on more than 2,300 acres of oceanfront land in Trelawney, Jamaica, the site is being transformed into a world-class destination. The project is a partnership between the Government of Jamaica and the Nexus Luxury Collection. Phase 1 will include a 1,000-room luxury hotel, a full-service casino covering 32,000 square feet, and an 18-hole championship golf course designed by global sports icon Tiger Woods. In addition, the development will feature a cutting-edge entertainment venue led by international superstar Justin Timberlake. Harmony Cove will also include an array of beachfront experiences, fine dining, and high-end lifestyle amenities. This multi-billion-dollar investment is expected to create thousands of jobs and redefine Jamaica's position in the global tourism market.
Hi, I'm Peter Charrington. I'm the chairman of Harmony Cove, and I'm very, very excited to talk to the people of Trelawney this afternoon. We've had a fantastic day with the Prime Minister and many of the Cabinet and distinguished guests as we did a ribbon-cutting ceremony to unveil Harmony Cove, our new wonderful 1,000-room hotel and Tiger Woods golf course that we're going to be opening here with a water park, conference center, amenities, a music recording studio with our partners Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake. But what does that really mean for the people of Trelawney? The most important thing is we're going to be investing in training and education. We're going to be creating thousands of jobs here, and we're going to need to help with training in Trelawney to be able to do that. We want to buy local agriculture from the farmers in Trelawney, in South Trelawney. We want to make certain that you know that you'll be able to have a price that you can sell your products to us, you can make a profit, and we can have a farm-to-table opportunity here for our hotel guests as they come around the world. It's about sustainable employment. It's about creating long-term growth for the people of Trelawney, for your children, and for their children to come. And we believe that's exactly what this project will all be about. We're very committed to making this a project where first and foremost the people of Trelawney are the winners.
And the next project taking place in Jamaica right now that I am really excited about is the Pinnacle. And the Pinnacle is like a double twin towers going up in Jamaica. And those buildings will be the tallest building in the entire Caribbean. And this is another multi-billion-dollar project that is currently underway in Jamaica. So when Jamaicans tell you that nothing na go on, just show them this project. And this is one of the projects that I said that I'm really excited about, and I am going to be tracking this project because this project is one of those projects like that is taking place. Like you see this project currently underway in Toronto, you see them in New York, where you see these multi-purpose high-rise building going up, where you can see in one high-rise building, you can see a hotel in the same building with a mall and a condominium in the exact same building. And this is going to change the face of Jamaica. So the Pinnacle, the building that I'm mostly excited about, and that is currently under construction in Jamaica.
Did you know that this Jamaican architect is designing the Caribbean's tallest buildings? Okay, before I get into it, my name's Sean, I'm an architect and I'm on a mission to make architecture and design more accessible. So the woman in the background here is Jamaican architect Isia Madden. So she is the lead architect for the massive Pinnacle development in Jamaica. Probably wondering, what is the Pinnacle development? So this is a massive $350 to $450 million luxury waterfront development. This development is literally made up of 4 28-story residential towers, villas, leisure facilities, and restaurants that all overlook the Montego Bay Marine Reserve. When these buildings are complete, they will actually be the tallest buildings in the Caribbean. Isia Madden and her firm Design HQ are actually responsible for the overall master plan, the tower design, and the villas on this 17.5-acre peninsula site. In an interview, Isia Madden says that with this project, she really wants to put Jamaica on the architectural map.
So as I said, with the help of ChatGPT, I was able to pull up development that is going on in Jamaica right now that is over $1 trillion, actually over $2 trillion Jamaican dollars that is currently in the economy being spent. And we're not even talking about the $6.7 billion that the government secure for the redevelopment of Jamaica. So next time someone look at you and tell you that nothing na go on in Jamaica, tell them to follow this series. Is Jamaica the new Dubai? And this is, as I said, I am going to be tracking the development of Jamaica from road, from private infrastructure. There is so many private developments currently taking place in Jamaica, and this is what I am going to be tracking for the next 5 years. So as I said, when somebody look at you and say nothing now go on in Jamaica, tell them that Jamaica is the fastest developing island within the Caribbean by far. So guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this one. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. Here at Carib 21, I'm on a mission to showcase the vibrant culture and the breathtaking beauty of the Caribbean while showcasing our culture and what is trending. If you want to support me on this mission, please subscribe. And if you also want to support, you can hit the comment section and buy me a cup of coffee. In order to buy me a cup of coffee, you can follow these instructions. Just click more. You will see the link to buy me a cup of coffee. Click the link. You can purchase 1 or 2 cups of coffee and you'll be helping me to fulfill this mission. Thank you.